Welcome to Her Money Revolution. I'm your host, Angela Brooks, your guide on this journey to becoming a wealthy woman. As a certified financial planner, business owner, and wealth advisor, I am on a mission to simplify the conversation around investing and to help women generate more wealth by making their money work for them. Join me as we navigate powerful financial planning strategies to help you achieve your personal and professional goals. This podcast is your go-to destination for no fluff, easy to implement financial and investing advice. If you are ready to achieve audacious financial goals, dream beyond boundaries, and generate massive wealth for you and your family, this podcast is for you. Grab a notebook, let's get started. Hello and welcome to Her Money Revolution, the podcast where we empower women to grow their wealth by making their money work for them. I'm your host, Angela Brooks, and in today's episode, I'm discussing the importance of generational wealth and how to pass on financial knowledge to future generations. Creating generational wealth is about more than just money. It's about ensuring financial security and the opportunities for your loved ones. If you're ready, let's dive in. Generational wealth refers to assets passed down from one generation to the next. So things like property, investments, businesses, and it's a powerful way to provide your family with financial stability and opportunities. So today, we're going to explore the steps to create and sustain generational wealth, as well as how to educate your children and future generations about money management. Hopefully that sounds wonderfully exciting for you. First, let's talk about building the foundation for generational wealth. This involves accumulating assets that can grow and be passed down. I'm going to go over 4 key strategies, and to help you to remember these strategies, I put together an acronym, and that is RISE, R-I-S-E. In order to elevate your family's financial future, we need to rise to the occasion for building generational wealth. So with R, real estate investment, build wealth through property ownership and rental income. And I'm going to dive into each of these in more depth, obviously. I, invest in the stock market, grow wealth by investing in a diversified portfolio. S, start and grow a business. Create and expand a business to pass down through generations. This can be fun. I own a business. E, education planning. Invest in education 529 plans to secure your children's future. So we'll start with R, real estate investment. Real estate is one of the most common ways that we can build generational wealth. Property values tend to appreciate over time, meaning that the property that you buy today will likely be worth much more in the future. This increase in value can significantly boost your family's net worth. Also is considered an inflation hedge. So what that means is that as it increases in value, it provides a safeguard against the eroding effects of inflation. So unlike some assets that you may lose value during inflationary periods like cash or fixed rate bonds or fixed annuities or your traditional savings bonds like Series EE, all of those lose purchasing power in inflationary periods. Buying real estate is an inflation hedge. Another reason that we would want to invest in real estate is if it is a rental property, it can provide a steady stream of income. I really believe that this is wise to have a consistent source of passive income, something different than what your jobs are providing. And if you have a well-managed rental properties, it can generate a real great positive cash flow. And with positive cash flow, you can reinvest more. And when you invest more, you accelerate your wealth accumulation and the compounding effect on your financial growth over time. So finding ways to have another stream of income is awesome. And rental real estate is a great strategy for that. And with good planning and careful planning, passing down real estate property to your kids is beneficial for you and for your children. I, invest in the stock market. Investing in the stock market is clearly a very powerful strategy for building generational wealth. And I say clearly because it's what I do. Also because of its potential for long-term growth, for income generation, and for the amazing power of compounding returns. You know me, and I love the power of compounding. It is one of the most effective and accessible ways to build wealth in today's financial landscape. That is investing in the stock market. And I want to say it really, to me, feels like a no-brainer. It's necessary if you want to grow wealth. So while it may not be absolutely necessary, but by doing so, it offers significant advantages that are hard to match with other investment vehicles. And what I mean by this, so when you invest in the stock market, you have the potential for high returns. So for example, the S&P 500 has an average return between 10 and 12%. This is significantly higher than other mainstream options. The power of compounding, right? The ability to reinvest dividends and capital gains allow your investments to grow exponentially. Another benefit of investing in the stock market is the diversification benefits. Spreading out your risk across different industries and sectors and regions is a great way to grow your wealth safely and securely through diversification. But honestly, one of the biggest advantages is its accessibility and affordability. Okay. Investing in the stock market is low barrier to entry. So it makes it easy to open up an online brokerage account. You can buy fractional shares or low-cost index funds or ETFs. Investing in the stock market has become so accessible and so affordable more than ever, and even with small amounts of money. So if you don't have much, you can open up an account and set $20 a month aside in a stock or a bond, some type of an investment to get you started. But if this still feels very overwhelming, or you find yourself feeling frustrated or worried about those decisions, then I would really, really encourage you to go find a financial advisor, find a CFP, someone that you can trust, someone that can help you at least get started would be really important. S, start and grow a business. A successful business can become a very, very valuable asset that appreciates over time and a significant asset to pass on for generations to come. If you have an entrepreneur spirit, I think you can think about starting a family business that can be handed down and your legacy can be handed down. But I will say family-owned businesses, they do provide opportunities for future generations for them to become involved in the businesses, to learn valuable skills, to contribute to business success. And working in a family business is a real-life, hands-on experience that is so invaluable for personal and professional development. If you can teach your kids the ins and the outs of the business, they will continue to grow it. And as the business grows, so does its equity. And as it becomes something that you can pass down for generations. And I will say, as a business owner myself, I own and manage a business that was founded by my dad. And technically, he's my stepdad. He married my mom when I was 30 years old. So there's a little different dynamic with my business than with the traditional generational family businesses. However, my point is, being a business owner and a family-owned business is not for everyone. It can be tough, and it truly requires a unique set of skills with high tolerance for risk and a significant amount of dedication and perseverance. Because the challenges that you have as a business owner, and then there are more challenges as a family business owner or legacy business when you have family involved. There's long hours, the financial risk, and obviously so much more. So you need to have the ability and the skill sets and the strengths to navigate the uncertainty, the setbacks, and you need to have the grace and the tenderness around family relationships. And I am speaking from experience. And with anything else in life, letting pride or ego or greed or unforgiveness or lingering hurt feelings take over, it will create toxic environment. And that toxic environment will affect every aspect of your life, including your workplace, including your home place, including the relationships with your siblings or your parents and the growth of your business, right? So if there's toxic environment, your business isn't going to grow, or maybe it will grow, but then eventually it will stop growing and it will maybe implode. So there's definitely a unique skill set that is required. However, when we strive to address these issues and we cultivate a positive, constructive mindset, it will bring rewards far beyond financial success. And I'm living it. For me, it's about fulfilling a deeper purpose one that aligns with God's plan for my life. Every day, I do my best to embrace this journey that I'm on, and I pray that God is using me for such a time as this in my business, in my family, and in the relationships that I have the opportunity of encountering. And I pray that others can see Jesus in me and in my business. And when I stay aligned with Jesus, it not only brings me meaning and purpose, but it makes life so incredibly fun and rewarding. So I do love working in family business. And I would say it's an amazing opportunity, an amazing way to build generational wealth that can be passed down. So we just went through RISE, RISE, R, real estate investment, I, invest in the stock market, S, start and grow a business, and E, education planning. And there are two different sides of this topic that I want to address. The first side is planning for the cost of education, so meaning paying for college. And two, the importance of passing on financial knowledge. So first, planning for the cost of college. I know that there are different opinions about whether college is important or not. And for me and my husband, it is very important. And we are planning on our kids going to college. And I pray that all three of them will go to college. I graduated from Grand Valley with a business degree in marketing and management. And my husband graduated from West Virginia, go Mountaineers, with a parks and recreation degree. A funny story about that is there is literally a typo on his diploma that is hanging on the wall in his office. And it reads Bachelor of Science in Recreation. And anyone that knows my husband knows that he loves to have a good time. He literally has a degree in recreation. His theme song is Vacation from Dirty Heads. I'm not going to sing it for y'all. You'll have to just look that up. But anyway, he also, in 2019, he did get his MBA in business at Grand Valley as well. But my point in telling you this is that today I am not in a marketing job. I've actually never had a job in marketing. And thankfully, my husband is not a park ranger. So even though we are not working in the field our diplomas suggest, what we gain from college goes far beyond the formal education. While I fully agree and understand that the academic learning is invaluable, no one can take that away from you. But it's the other opportunities and experiences, the study abroad programs, the friendships that I've earned or gained, the growth that came with them that truly enriched my life and my husband's life. It was the access to the network of peers and the mentors and other professionals, which opened doors to career opportunities and partnerships and other avenues for wealth creation that John and I gained from our college experience. And if you have young kids or grandkids, I encourage you to encourage them to go to school. And for you then to set up education savings accounts, like a 529 plan, to help cover the cost of that schooling. And really, 1.2 on a really cool thing about the 529 plans, the Secure Act 2.0 introduced a provision that now allows unused 529 plan funds to be rolled over into Roth IRA for the beneficiaries. So that just started this year in 2024. This is a significant change. It provides a tax advantage way to repurpose funds that might otherwise go unused in a 529 plan. I have clients all the time. They're like, I don't know if my kids are going to go to school or not, so I don't want to put saved in a 529 plan. But now it doesn't matter if they do or not for the sake of the 529 plans, because you can roll them into a Roth IRA for them. So I hope you encourage your kids to go to college. I'm encouraging my kids to go to college. I do truly believe that an educated family is better equipped to maintain and grow wealth. The other side of the education planning that I want to discuss is the importance of passing on financial knowledge. Statistics show that 90% of families lose their wealth by the third generation. Let that sink in for a minute. By the time your grandkids are set to inherit the money that you earned in your lifetime, it could be gone or close to gone unless you can overcome these difficult odds. If future generations are not adequately prepared to handle the responsibilities of their inheritance, there is a risk of overspending and other conflicts, which could deplete the wealth that you've worked so hard to build. I've seen it firsthand, and it is so frustrating for me. So here's the thing. Listen, it's easy to overlook the importance of educating future generations on financial literacy and money management and stewarding wealth. Life is busy. I get it. But surveys show 62% of Americans rarely discuss finances. I'm going to say that again. 62% of Americans rarely discuss their finances. What do people talk about? I mean, honestly, it's mind-blowing, some of these statistics, but 62% of Americans don't talk about their finances. And only 15% of parents, are talking to their kids about money. You guys, my friends, we have to do better. It is an everyday conversation with my family, with my kids. I am talking about my finances on a monthly basis with my husband. These statistics, maybe these surveys are wrong, but we must do better. The next generation is so unprepared to receive and properly manage family wealth. No wonder that's gone by the third generation. We're not educating them on how to manage and steward it well. So how do we do this? Okay, how do we teach our kids about money management? I'm going to give you 4 strategies and another acronym. That acronym this time is GROW, G-R-O-W. G, give hands-on experience. R, role model good financial habits. O, open conversations about money. And W, weave in the value of giving. So let's start with G, give hands-on experience. Give your children opportunities to manage money, whether it's through an allowance, part-time job, or managing a small spending plan. Practical experience for kids is invaluable. My children are 9, 7, and 5. So they're young, but children as young as 3 start to grasp basic financial concepts. And by the age of 7, they begin to form lasting money habits. And then today, it's my job, as I'm working with these clients, to help them unlearn those money habits that they learned before they were 8 years old. It's crazy. Are you tired of feeling like your finances are controlling you instead of the other way around? What if I told you that there is a way to align your spending with your core values so every dollar you spend actually brings you closer to the life that you truly want? Well, I want to share with you a tool that has helped me and a ton of my clients understand where their money is going and gives them more money to invest for their future. And that is the value spending plan. I have been using this tool for over 10 years, and it has been so impactful in my life, and I want to give you this tool to use in yours. Download a free copy of the value spending plan and start taking control of your finances today. Head over to hermoneyrevolution.com/resources to download a free copy today. Again, that's hermoneyrevolution.com/resources to download your free copy of the value spending plan. So I want my kids to have good, healthy money habits. I need my kids to have good, healthy money habits. And so do you. If you have children, if you are a parent, maybe you're not a parent, maybe you're a grandparent or an uncle or an aunt, but we have an opportunity to impart financial lessons during everyday interactions with our kids or the kids that you are around. And I mean like shopping trips, family gatherings, even adult conversations that we know our littles are listening in on. What are they hearing? What are they understanding, or what do they think that they are understanding when it comes to financial literacy? And let me tell you why it's important to be intentional with these interactions. Here's an example. Here's a way that we can do this. Use real money. Let your kids hold the cold, hard cash. We actually even keep it in some cash in our refrigerator because it's cold, hard cash. But when we go on vacation, my husband and I give our kids cash and we tell them, hey guys, this is your spending money for this trip. This is all you get. It's your choice on how and when you spend it. You can buy whatever you would like, but this is it. This is what you get for this trip. It's been both fun and eye-opening to see how each of our kids manage their money. And it is so different. Each of them are so different. These experiences or teaching John and I how we can better support each of them in their unique ways that they need to learn. And we recognize and appreciate the differences when managing money and how they're managing their money. They already have their money habits. And I see my kids' money habits already. They already have them. My oldest is a saver. He will walk around a store eyeing toys, wondering, maybe I'll get this one, maybe not. But ultimately, he always decides to save his money for something bigger and better later on in the trip, or maybe even the next trip. He saves. That was more like me. I had a piggy bank full of money. I always was saving my money. My middle child, now he is a spender. He will go on the first day of vacation. He is so eager to buy a toy. However, it's never an easy decision for him. He will literally walk back and forth, looking at toys, debating between which one is better. It's a true struggle. I can see it in him. Like he struggles with deciding which toy he wants. He struggles in making that decision. We are literally always waiting on him to make the choice. And I'm like, dude, man, pick one. It's the first day of vacation. You don't even have to do it right now. We can come back. We've got time. Just pick something. Come on, let's go. And like literally every time we're on vacation or out for a long weekend, and we give them cash maybe sometimes for that too. He's always trying to decide what toy he wants to pick. And he eventually does, because he won't leave the store until he does pick a toy. So he'll pick a toy, and then a few days later, he spots something else that he wants, and he gets so upset with himself because he's already spent all of his money, and he'll cry. Or he'll even beg us to return the first toy that he bought on the first day at the first store, because he wants to buy a new one. I'm like, dude, bud, no, it's a completely different way than my first child was. My baby girl, she's so cute. She'll walk in, she'll buy the first cute toy, and she absolutely loves it. And she'll play with it the entire vacation. She doesn't have a need or a desire to buy anything else. She is so content with her choice and doesn't even want to go into any other stores because she already knows that most of her money is already spent. However, she does usually have a little bit of money left over, a few dollars or so, that inevitably end up in the hands of my middle child, who masterfully negotiates his way into getting her dollars. It's amazing. But they are so different and they are so consistent. This is, my oldest is 9. We've been doing this. John and I have been giving them cash. We're trying to learn about their money habits and help them manage their spending habits for maybe, 5 years. And they are consistent. This is how they have been since we've been doing this. And because they are so different, as parents, we are also learning how to help them in a way that they need help to manage their money. And that goes with everything else too, as being a parent. Each kid needs things different. They love different. They forgive different. But anyway, I digress. So moving on to the next one, R, be a role model with good financial habits. Lead by example by demonstrating good financial habits in your life on a daily basis. Every single day, we get an opportunity to be a role model to our kids or the kids around us. For example, when you make thoughtful purchases, explain that decision-making process with your kids. Highlight how you compared prices, or you looked for deals, or you chose quality over quantity. And if you don't always do this, if you make a bad purchase and later on you regret it, that's okay. Talk to your kids about that. That's a lesson as well. Teach them and discuss with them needs versus wants. Explain the differences between what's necessary and discretionary items. Be a role model with the words that you choose and use more intentional words. Because when we do that, we not only shift your deeply ingrained mindset that you formed by the time you were 7 or 8, but you will also help develop a healthier and more thoughtful relationship with money for your kids. So I'm going to say that again. If you can be a role model with the words that you choose by using more intentional words, you shift your mindset from maybe a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. But if you have kids that are little, that are young, when you choose those words wisely, you develop such a healthy, thoughtful relationship with money for your kids. This, my friends, will change the course of their life, and it will change the course of this world. And I know it's dramatic, but we are raising world changers. Can I get a yes? And can I get an amen? Yes and amen. So instead of saying, no, gosh, we can't afford that right now. No, the answer is no. That creates a scarcity mindset, right? But how about if we said something like this? Hey, bud, I understand you want this toy. However, buying it today does not align with our values. So the answer is no. By doing it that way, what we are doing is we validate their feelings. We acknowledge their desire. We show them empathy and understanding, which helps our kids feel heard. Also, by using those words, we are teaching the value-based decision-making, where we shift the focus from the financial limitations, oh, we can't afford that right now, to aligning choices with our core values. Nope, this isn't aligned with our values. We have other goals that we're saving for. So the answer is no, right? This helps them learn to make decisions based on principles rather than just the availability of funds. We can also encourage the thoughtful spending. Now, I know when you're standing in the middle of the store and your kid is begging you and pulling on you to buy this toy, you don't have time or energy. I don't, anyway, most times, have the energy to explain to them why buying that toy today doesn't align with our values. But if on occasion you do take that time, or later on you come back to the conversation and you explain to them why, then you will help them understand the importance of considering their purchases carefully and making choices that reflect the broader goals and values. Giving them the why helps solidify, helps form those, anchor those decisions with them or for them. And sometimes for myself, I'll even say when my kids ask, can I buy this? I'll say, no, not now, but let's put it on your birthday list, which is fine on occasion. I do it a lot. Maybe I shouldn't do this much, but on occasion, I think that is fine. However, I'm talking about being a good role model and developing good habits. So it's important to stand firm. When you say no, your no is no. Don't give a false sense of maybe later when it will always be a no, right? I do this. We're all probably guilty of this, but don't say maybe later when you know it's going to be no, you're just being lazy or you just want to avoid tears or drama. And I'm sorry if you're saying, don't be a lazy parent. We're raising kids that are going to become adults. Hopefully they're going to be good, healthy adults with good mindset around money. And if we can help them by setting clear, consistent messages to them, we help our kids build resilience by saying no. We teach them to handle disappointment constructively and to understand that financial decisions require balancing their wants with other important considerations. So don't give them the false hope. My parents used to say, maybe later. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she said maybe later. I'd get so excited thinking it was going to be a yes just to find out, it was a no, or maybe I would forget about it later. But when our no is no, our kids will build resilience in a healthy way. So on the flip side of this, though, when you can afford it, when you do have the resources and you do want to bless your kids, and you do want to buy them everything that they want, and it is tempting to say yes to a toy just to make your kid happy or because you can. And it's okay. Again, on occasion. However, what is a bad habit is when you are consistently giving in to every request that your child asks. That's when you create problems. That's when you create entitlement. Let me give you an example. If every time you go to the grocery store, you buy your kid the toy that he wants, or you buy the gum that your daughter is begging you for, or maybe you're at home and you're watching a commercial and a really cool toy comes on and your kids ask you if you can buy that. And you're like, sure. You immediately get on your phone and you go on Amazon and you order it. This behavior creates entitlement and the belief that money is limitless. This mindset leads to unrealistic expectations about money. And it is surprising to me when they are shocked to learn that money doesn't grow on trees. You guys, hello. I don't have teenagers yet, thankfully. I have some time before I have teens. I got the preteens. What is it? Doesn't matter. I don't have teenagers yet. I was with one of my friends the other day, and her teenage daughter texted her, and she was like, "Hey, Mom, will you send me $50? Me and my friend want to get DoorDash." And this teen, my friend's daughter, was literally pissed when her mom said no. I don't know what the text message back was, but she said no. And all of a sudden, my friend's phone was just blowing up. Her daughter went off via text. She's like, I'm going to starve. You don't care about me. How could you say no? I just need 50. Okay, maybe 40. How about you give me 40? It was just like text message after text message. It was absolutely insane. And my friend looked at me and she was like, what in the world is going on right now? She's like, my daughter is at home. Well, make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or eat the chicken that is in the refrigerator. My friend was so frustrated. She's like, my daughter is so stinking entitled. And I feel for her. I get it. I mean, I kind of understand it. I see it. You're not the only one there. Thankfully, I feel like I have time because mine are a little bit younger, but it's today. It's the decisions that I make today that are going to formulate how they understand and how their relationship with money. And when we set boundaries and when we resist the urge to make spontaneous purchases for ourselves and for our kids, we model the value of patience. We model the value of thoughtful decision-making, and we demonstrate how to manage money wisely and the effort that is required to earn it. We help our kids develop a realistic understanding of finances and the importance of working towards those financial goals. We help them develop the understanding that money does not grow on trees. Sorry, I get very passionate about this, but it is our job as a parent to teach these to our children. This is how you have generational wealth that lasts for longer than 2 generations. So let me get back on point. Okay, so it is also important that when you do reach those goals, because we do, hopefully we all do, it is so important that we celebrate the achievements with our family. This is going to reinforce the idea that financial discipline and that goal setting can lead to a very rewarding outcome. So make sure that you're taking time to celebrate the small wins and the small achievements as well. Another good habit around money and another good way to be a good role model is to model generosity. Practice charitable giving with your kids. My husband and I, we take our kids, we do a lot. We sponsor some kids in Mexico. My kids are in the Spanish immersion program. So they're pen pals with some kids from Mexico. And we go shopping for them and we, Christmas gifts for these kids. We also try to volunteer as much as we can. But when you show your children how to give to charities that you love and volunteer your time, and when we can explain the importance of how we can help others, that God is blessing us, and we want to use our blessings to bless others and involve our kids in choosing we involve our kids sometimes in choosing what organizations to donate to. But this is where this is true meaning and purpose. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. That's my next point. That's my W. I'll get there in a minute. But let's move into O, which is open conversations about money. For me, this is really easy. I'm an advisor. It's what I do every day, all day. But I would love for this to be really easy for everybody else. We need to talk to our kids and our spouses about money. But if you have kids that are young, start now, start early and often. Be as open as you can about your financial successes and your mistakes. Share some of those stories of your mistakes. I mentioned that earlier. We've made mistakes, and that's okay. We've learned from them. This teaches our kids that it is okay to make mistakes, but it is important to learn the lessons from them because they provide very valuable lessons. If we can show our kids the value, if you can show your kids your value spending plan, that is awesome. Or better yet, create a family spending plan together. Involve your kids in that process. Show them how to allocate funds for different expenses or savings goals. Have them understand the household bills and what they are. We talk about this with our kids, and it's funny. Sometimes my kids will be like, oh, wait till you pay the taxes on that. And my husband and I will laugh like, well, you don't have to pay taxes on that. And I forget what it was the other day. He said, shoot, what was it? I forget, but something that we did and you don't pay taxes on that. But my oldest was like, oh man, I know how that goes. You're going to have to pay taxes on that. It was funny. So they don't fully understand yet, but they're learning. And it's going to teach them importance. When you're open and honest with them, it's going to teach them the importance of planning and prioritizing where to spend and how to spend. And it lets them see the importance of making wise financial decisions. So in our family, the Brooks kids, they each have savings accounts at the bank and they have investment accounts, and we get paper statements every month, and we choose to get those paper statements every month so we can go through them with our kids. My husband will put them at the table where each of our kids sit, and we'll spend some time on a monthly basis going over these statements with our kids. and we look at them, they have their names on them. They love it. They think that they're so special. Everybody likes to get mail, and when my kids get mail and it's a statement from their investment account or a statement from their bank account, they just feel super great. But we'll review everything with them. We look at the investment performance and the balances, and we explain what everything means in the statement. This is getting them aware, making it familiar for them. My kids aren't getting paychecks yet, but if your kids are getting paychecks, please review the pay stub with them. Explain what everything means on it and show them exactly where all that money is going and why. Why are you paying for Social Security, or why are you paying why are you paying this tax? I've met with clients that are 35 and they don't understand their pay stub. So do yourself a favor and teach your kids these valuable lessons. Here's another thing. For me, it's fun and it's easy. Obviously, I'm a wealth advisor. It is what I do. But guess what, you guys? It's what you do too. Managing your bills, paying your taxes, saving for vacations, hopefully investing in the stock market. It is all part of life for everyone. And even if you don't fully understand all of the details yourself, if you look at a statement and you're like, I don't even know how to explain this to my kids, I don't know what it is myself, that's okay. Just read it to them. If they ask questions, Google an answer. But it's just simply involving your kids in reviewing those statements or looking at the financial graphs that will provide them with valuable exposure to money management and investing. It gives them the exposure to kind of start to understand what this is all about. And if we do this early and often, this interaction will help them become familiar with these concepts so that when they encounter them later in life, because they will, they are human, it is part of life. When this happens for them, they won't feel overwhelmed or out of their depths. Instead of ignoring it because they think like, oh crap, I should know this stuff, and I don't, which I don't know why. I have clients that say, I know I should know this. Well, why? If we're not taught it, why do you think that you should know this? But if we expose our children to this, then they're going to recognize it. And they may not feel they're going to recognize it. They may not fully understand it. Most likely they won't fully understand what it all means, but it won't be so foreign to them. They will feel more confident. They will feel informed. They will have the ability to be comfortable asking some questions because, oh yeah, I kind of remember this when I was younger. It'll start to become common knowledge for them. And by having open conversations about your finances on a regular basis, you not only build a solid foundation for your kids, but you also give yourself the opportunity to learn alongside them, which is awesome. So please, please, please put it on your agenda, put it on your calendar on a monthly basis. If you don't have kids, here's the other thing. If you don't have kids, or if you aren't married, you're single, still do it with yourself. Schedule a monthly date with yourself to go over your investments and to review everything and start familiarizing yourself with these concepts a little bit more, because as you continue to see them over time, they become less and less scary. So I went over G, give hands-on experience. R, role model good financial habits. O, open conversations about money. And last but not least, W, weave in the value of giving. If we can instill the importance of philanthropy and giving back, it is the most valuable lesson in life, I believe, because when you give money to help others, it cultivates empathy and a deeper understanding of the challenges that other people face. This, my friends, creates a more compassionate and caring outlook on life. This promotes a sense of purpose, because when you know that your financial contributions made a positive impact on someone else's life, this, my friend, is real purpose and fulfillment. This is why I believe God put us here, is to serve others. It is incredibly rewarding to see how your generosity creates real change. I try to teach my kids to allocate a portion of their money to charitable causes and to dedicate some of their time to volunteering. This not only benefits others who are impacted by that, but it also reinforces the value of money and the profound impact that it has. I know in this podcast, I emphasize the importance of growing your wealth and saving and investing wisely and designing the life that you desire. And I believe that. I mean that. We have a boat. We have things. We do nice things. We drive nice cars. All of that stuff is very true and it's not bad. However, true wealth isn't about what you accumulate. It's about what you give back. Giving money away is a powerful way to create positive change in both your life and the lives of others. As you listen to this podcast and build your wealth, I hope and I pray that you also experience the joy of generosity. And now, my friends, it is time for today's actionable money tip, and that is start a family financial meeting. Schedule regular family meetings to discuss your financial goals. Review your progress, and make plans for the future. I've already told you that my husband and I do this. We do it once a month also with our kids. And we may not go into the some of all the details each month with our kids, or a little bit, maybe a little. But if you do this, start a family financial meeting. This keeps everyone informed and involved, and it fosters a collective effort towards building and maintaining generational wealth. If your children are grown, I have clients that, their kids are 50 and they haven't really talked about their money or their estate or what's going to happen when they pass away or when they relocate or when they get promoted, however you want to say it, or when they die. And I've hosted those meetings for them. Let's have a family meeting. Let's make sure all of your kids understand your estate and what's going on. Those conversations, I understand, can be hard. But if you have young kids and you start it early and you start it often, they won't be as hard. That's all I have for today's episode of Her Money Revolution. Remember, building generational wealth is a journey, and the most valuable legacy that you can leave is your knowledge and your wisdom. Until next time, keep striving for financial empowerment and making your money work for you. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you are feeling more empowered in your financial journey. Remember, follow and subscribe to Her Money Revolution on your favorite podcast platform, and share your feedback by leaving a review. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway from today's episode. Until next time, stay inspired.